Okay, so good morning and welcome everyone to the webinar Agency Security Part 2. During this seminar, we will share concepts of different Sabre security products and solutions which, together with the topics covered in the session number 1 of this security cycle, will allow you to maximize the security of your reservations as well as the access of the Sabre system, thus avoiding any unauthorized access that may put in the integrity of your business at risk. This will be the second and last webinar of the security cycle, and we hope you enjoy it. Of course, if you were not able to see or to attend to the previous webinar, we will share the link to our YouTube channel in the follow-up material email where you can watch it, because we have a lot of products, the interesting products there that can work for your agency security. Now let's review the housekeeping details of this meeting. The lines have been muted in order to guarantee a correct development of the session. The chat window is already active, so you can send your questions or comments to the chat and I will pass them to our guest speaker. This session is being recorded to be uploaded later in our YouTube channel. And within the next 24 hours, we will send you via email a supporting material set, including the presentation, the recording, and the link to our customer satisfaction survey. In regards of the agenda, we will talk about the security best practices. We will review a product that is within Sabre Red 360 admin tool that is called IP blocking. We will talk about Ticket Safe, which is a ticketing restriction tool, Passcode management tool, which allows you to manage your own passcode in case you forget it. And we will review also Sabre reports. Now let me introduce ourselves. My name is Leandro Gentile and I will be your host and moderator today. I am responsible for the marketing campaign team for Latin America and the Caribbean, and I am located in Montevideo as well as the presenter for today. My mission is to monitor the chat and pass your questions or comments to our speaker, as well as being attentive to your comments. In case of any questions are not answered, I will try to do it in the supporting material set that we will send within the next 24 hours. Now, let's welcome our guest speaker for today. She is Adela Insua. She's a security analyst located also in Montevideo, Uruguay. Welcome, Adela. How are you today?
Thank you, Leanne. I'm very fine. Thank you. How are you?
Fine. Thank you very much. I am giving you a presenter rights right now.
All right, let's share. Can you see my screen, guys?
Yes, we can.
There you go. Perfect. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Adela, as Leandro just mentioned. I'll be with you today with Virginia, that is my coworker. We'll be supporting this webinar today. We are part of the Travel Solution Security Management team. And our goal today is just give you some review products, recommendations, and tips to improve the agency security. We won't have time for questions during the webinar, but you are more than welcome to know them and let us know afterwards. We will have time for a Q&A. Our agenda for today will be the TSSM team responsibilities. We will provide a few best practices. We'll be talking about a product called Password Management Tool. Then we're going to move to Ticket Safe. Another topic will be the IP address access. We'll be going deeper on phishing emails and some tips how to recognize them. Then we're going to go to Sabre Central reports, how to report an unauthorized access. And then, as I said, we will have time for Q&A questions. Our Travel Solution Security Management team is dedicated to perform security investigations. Those reports can be received by you guys directly. We will show you later on how to report those incidents, and any type of investigation related to EPRs, DJR, unauthorized activities such as bookings or ticketing, anything that you consider that is suspicious. You can just report that directly to us, and we will just investigate, contain the situation, advise, and investigate the root cause. The main idea is just to protect your business, promoting best practices as a form of preventing any type of suspicious activity, and as a whole, support you to be on top of your agency security. As a way of preventing any unauthorized activity or any issues on your agency, we do have a set of recommendations. Most of them, well, actually all of them are on Sabre Central. We will show you later how to get to all our recommendations on our sites. But today we have selected only few of them that we consider that are very important just to keep track of your activity and be working on the safe side. One of those recommendations is just to limit the full access to only those agents who really need it. What we are trying to say with this is that just keep the rights and capability to your agents, only limit to the rights that they need to perform their own job. For instance, not every agent needs to be an EPR administrator, for instance. You know, if you have like the keyword create, that it can just create all the EPRs, you might not want everyone to have that capability. So only restrict for those who really need to have that access. Something else to be considered, it might be probably just to have CC view capability. CC view is a keyword that allows to see critical information for our customers. So maybe not every agent need to have access to that information. Another way to restrict, it might be just you might have agents that only book, but not ticket issue, no issue tickets, right? So maybe you can consider just to restrict the ticketing capability to only those agents who will be performing that actions. Then another best practice is just to make sure that your EPR and your credentials are unique, and you are the only one that have access to that, right? Releasing your credentials to another person, a colleague, or another website, it might put you in a big trouble. Just remember that you are responsible for any activity performed by your EPR. So make sure that you are the only one that has access to your EPR and your password. Something else to consider is just make sure that if somebody left the agency, right, leave the company, make sure that you delete the EPR, the credentials, immediately after that. That will guarantee that that person, the former employee, does no longer work on Sabre using their credentials. Now, related to EPRs as well, but not necessarily deleted, you might consider just to keep track of those employees that have long leaves, right, such as maternity leave, and make sure that if a person won't be accessing Sabre through a long time, maybe you can just inactivate that EPR for that period of time. In that matter, what you can make sure is that only the APRs that are currently working at the agency have access to the system. Another best practice is just make sure that you access Sabre or any of our apps or tools through a bookmark that is trusted and it's safe on or stored on your favorites, right? Do not access Sabre through a link in another website or through a link on an email or any other one that is not your favorite bookmark, or you can manually enter the website, right? But that is important to remember because now more than ever, we have seen unauthorized access that is being because they trying to access to Sabre or another site through a link sent via WhatsApp or media or email. All right. So make sure that if you're going to access Sabre, you do have that bookmark trust and log in from there only. And now, just following this same logic, Sabre will never request your passcode or login information through an email, through a call, or in a personal interaction. So there is no Sabre employee that will ever ask you your EPR or credentials. There is no way that Sabre will send you an email requesting to log in on Sabre through an email. All right. If that ever happens, then make sure that you report that immediately because it is suspicious. Another practice that it will help you to be on top of your agency security is just keep track of your ticketing activity, right? You might or might not be aware of a DQB display list. Over there, you will have access to all the tickets issued. And you can just make sure that all the tickets issued on your agency are valid for a valid customer and a valid EPR. Keeping that in mind, it will help you to prevent a lot of issues because you might have time to contain the situation if you identified any unauthorized ticket or any unauthorized booking. Now we're going to move over the password management tool. The password management tool is a product that allows you to reset your passcode yourself. If you ever been logged, like I've been, you know how important it is just to be able to self-manage your own credentials, right? That will save you a lot of time and a lot of trouble. So password management tool will give you the option to reset your passcode. Just answer pre-established security questions or personal questions, actually. So answer those questions will give you the freedom to reset your own passcode. When you download Sabre for first time, originally, Sabre will offer from a set of several questions, the option to answer 6 of them, right? Those are personal questions. And then once you have that, then you will have the option to, as I mentioned, reset your passcode. I will just show you later on how it works. If you want to, let's suppose that when you download Sabre for first time, you haven't answered those questions. You always have the option just to access to those questions and answer them right now. So going to Sabre Central, Home, My Profile, then Account Settings, and Manage Security Questions. That will be the path to follow if you want to answer your personal questions right now. Needless to say, guys, that just being able to reset your own passcode will save you a lot of time and it won't stop the agency productivity, right? Let me show you how that works. let's suppose that you answer your 6 private questions. And let's suppose that you have forgot your passcode. So you're going to access Sabre as usual, right? You're going to type your agent ID. Since you forgot your passcode, nothing on your passcode, and your pseudo CD code. Then you're going to click underneath on the blue link that says forgot my password. Over there, you will click and then continue. Once there, Sabre will give you 3 questions to answer of those 6 that you originally answered, right? Then you're going to answer those questions, type your new passcode, right? Remember that you forgot yours, so a new passcode, and then retype it and click finish, and that'll do it. With that simple step, you will be resetting your own passcode. Password management tool will notify any type of activity on 3 possible scenarios, right? It is important. Well, now that we are here, something else that I would like to highlight, it is very important just to have your own email on your profile, right? That is the email that password management tool will be using to notify about the EPR activity, the password activity. So once you reset your passcode, like on the scenario before, the password management tool will send you an email advising that the passcode has been successfully reset. Another scenario, it might be that you try to reset your passcode, but you have failed. For any reason, you forgot your answer, or something that, I would like to clarify, and it is crucial, I think. The tool, it's case sensitive, right? So watch out with that, because if you answer that on caps, it have to be exactly the same way that you answered originally. So it will identify the capital letters, and it will give you a fail, even if the answer is correct. But just be careful with that. Well, going back to the second scenario, you try to reset your passcode, but you fail for any reason. The password management tool will send you an email advising that you have failed attempt. And the third one is that you have completed the 6 attempts and your EPR is now locked. After that, you're going to have to contact your EPR administrator or Sabre help desk, of course. Now on the next slide, I will show you how it looks like, an email from password management tool. Nothing too fancy, plain, but it's effective. It will always come from the email that you have over there. It's a non-reply, Sabre password, mgmt@sabre.com, right? As you can see on this one in particular, it's just advising that the password has been reset successfully, and it will show you the ID number and the environment. Guys, something that is worth to mention as well. As you can see, you won't see the pseudo CD code, right? So if you use several pseudo CD codes and the same ID, it might be confusing, right? Because you might not be able to see, to identify which is a pseudo CD code that is being reset. Something to keep in mind. All right. Now we're going to move to the next topic, that it will be ticket safe feature. Ticket safe, it's a product that has been thought to for the agency to be self-manage their own ticketing capabilities. Activating ticket safe, it will restrict any ticketing or issuance at the pseudo CD code. It is very useful, or it was very useful, especially during COVID situation, when the agency closed up for a certain period of time, just to make sure that no one will be issuing tickets at the agency on the pseudocity code. Once the entry that is a DJ11, right, is ticketing cross on is done, then no ticket, no W cross entry can be done at the agency. It works at pseudocity code level, right? And only those EPRs with submanager keyword or and duty code number 9 can do this entry. So think about this option for if the agency will be closed for weekends, holidays, during the weekend, for instance, any time that you know that no one was supposed to be issuing tickets at your agency. That is very useful, and it helps you to make sure or guarantee that no one will be having any activity once the agency is closed. Something else that I forgot is that this product is not billable, right? It's free of charge. This new topic, it's the agency administrator tool that it will allow you to allowed or denied IP access to IP address to access Sabre 360. This is another very useful tool that it will allow the agency to control the traffic, right? Especially if you want to restrict the access. Let's suppose that you want only your agents to work through the headquarters, for instance. Then just establishing a preset of IP range or IP address, you can just limit the access to Sabre to those IP traffic, restricting any other one. This agency administrator tool can be requested by the auditing agent on Central Marketplace. It's free of charge as well, and it's something very useful to keep in mind. I will show you how it works later. Here we go. Once you have the agency admin tool, you will have a tab over there that it says allowed or deny access. You will be able to establish rule to exclude access from Sabre Red 360, depending on the IP information that you have. You can enter one IP or an IP range, then save that rule, and that'll be it. You will always have the option to remove that rule as well, right? To cancel anytime that you need it. On the next slide, I will see, there you go, perfect. On this one, you will see just as a little screenshot of Sabre 360 and how it looks like. You know, it's kind of it's a user-friendly that, as I said, it can be modified anytime. Over there, you will have the option to add rule. Then something that is important, you can just restrict that by pseudocity code or by EPR, by user as well. Maybe that can make a difference on your, daily work. But anyway, you can add a rule over here, adding the IP, and then option to denied or allowed. As any other logic, if you allowed one IP, that means that you restrict the rest, right? Or if you restrict one, is because you allow the rest. So that mainly is the logic. And then over there on the next tab, you will have another one that it says delete rule. You will select the rule and just delete it. That's pretty awesome. All right. Now we're gonna move over this big topic, phishing emails. Probably most of you have been experiencing phishing emails from several companies or several sources. But it is a big concern on the industry at this moment, right? So we thought that it would be important just to bring this topic up. So a phishing email, it's a fraudulent practice when they are sending emails pretending to be from a legit company in order to encourage a victim or a user to reveal personal information. A personal information might include ID, passwords, credit card, passport information. I don't know, anything that it can be useful for a bad actor to use. Usually these websites, what they do is just they redirect the user to a fake or a fraudulent website, harvesting that information, right? They're very difficult to recognize sometimes, especially now. The hackers or the bad actors are getting better and better, sadly, but that's the truth. So some of those emails will just look like a legit company email. Of course, we're going to be talking about Sabre in this particular scenario, but it applies to every other phishing email. We will do our best to help you recognize those phishing emails. We will have some examples. This one, for instance, it looks like just like Sabre email. It has our logo. The layout, it looks similar to any email that it might be sent by Sabre. And then at the bottom, you have something that says confirm now, right? If you click over there, this is a screenshot, but it's an actual phishing email. If you click on the confirm now, it will take you to a website that is not related to Sabre at all, asking you to add your ID and password. And if you do that, then at that point, you will have someone somewhere with your ID and your password ready to access Sabre pretending to be you. So as I said at the beginning, each of us are responsible for our credentials. Any activity performed under my ID is my responsibility. And let's make sure that we understand the importance of keep it safe. And if you're in doubt, if you say, well, it looks just like Sabre, well, if you're in doubt, report that. If you're in doubt, don't do it. Do not click. And once again, Sabre will never send you an email requesting your credentials. We're going to go a little deeper on the phishing email on this new example, for instance. Look, you see, once again, it looks just like Sabre logo, the front, anything. There are a few tips that we can share or we know at this point that it can help you to recognize a fake email. On the salutation over here, it says, dear client. It might say, dear customer. Usually are like a generic salutations, but watch out. The fact that it says your name, let's suppose my name is Adela. If it says, dear Adela, it doesn't mean that this email, it's legit, right? So we are giving you tips, but are not always exactly the 100% rule. For generally, they are more like a generic, dear customer, dear client, something like that. They might have like phrases with typos or grammatical errors, and sometimes out of context, right? Some of the sentence do not make sense. Like on this one, for instance, at the bottom, it says, please accept the assurance of our highest consideration. It sounds fancy. It's a bunch of fancy words, but not with sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Something else that you have to keep in mind is that those emails usually create a sense of urgency. You know, they're just bringing some urgent, the sense that it's something that have to be done right now. So you don't have to think about it, just do it, because otherwise you will have any type of consequences. So, you know, in the rush of work, I know sometimes we don't even think it's something that I have to be done, I do it. But watch out with that. If it's something that it has urgent, it won't request any actions from Sabre that is urgent. Do it right now, or we will remove your EPR, for instance, right? So most of the phishing emails do that. They're trying to ask you to do something right now, so you don't have to think about it. On this third example, we do have another few things that it might be common. On this particular scenario, you know, on the top, they even pretend to be Sabre domain. It says infos@sabre.com. It's a spoof fake email. Sabre does not have any email that it says infos@sabre.com. Something else that you have to look at, it's for the to field. They don't usually have the capability to add your own email over there. Once again, if you have your email on the to field, it doesn't make it legit, right? So watch out. This one, once again, the logo. If you click on the logo, you will see clearly that it's a copy and paste. It's not part of the email itself, as it's supposed to. Another misspelling over here, grammatical error. You know, sometimes it will be hard to recognize, but just read it carefully. On this case in particular, we are pointing to this. It says service in recent days. You know, it's supposed to be recent, but anyway. And another tip that is useful is just without clicking on the link, you can hover your mouse through the link and you will be able to see the actual website behind, right? On this particular case, you cannot see it because, of course, it's a screenshot, but you will see that it says www.connect.index.com. Nothing related to Sabre at all. It's not Sabre.com. It's nothing. It's another website. The website used to harvest or to take your credentials away. You probably have a lot of questions about phishing emails. Please do, and we will answer later on. Now we're going to move over another topic. That is, let me check my time. Okay, we are fine. And this one, it's reports. Not many customers know that they have the capability just to pull reports directly from Sabre. You can access to the report tool through Sabre Central, Home, My Agency, and then Reports if you want to access directly from Sabre Central, or through Sabre 360, you can go to Community, Sabre Central, and then the same path, Home, My Agency, and Reports. There are a few categories of reports that you can pull from Sabre directly. We'll be focusing today on operational, right? Because those are the ones to keep track of your EPRs, credentials, usage, and so on. But you do have another ones like booking activity. On booking activity, you will be able to see the bookings done by pseudocity code, by agent sign, by suppliers or hotels, right? Per day or in a certain range of dates, monthly, let's say, whatever you need. But it's just to keep track of your activity at agency level. Then scan, it's a daily scan by agent sign, pseudocity code, or as a whole, right? The number of enters that you do on Sabre. Then we do have another report that is called specialty. Specialty, it's a report for mainly billable products. One of them is automated exchanges, you know, and the other one is travel protection. And then we're going to be focusing today on operational. operational reports will give you reports that are related to EPR activity. On that report, what you can see, it's a list of all your EPRs, the status, the last sign-in, name, and pseudo city code. We will have a little image later on. Then another report that you can pull, it's a Sabre configuration. Sabre configuration report, it will show you the line IATAs assigned to your pseudo city code, the latest usage. And that is very useful because I work on the help desk for a long time. And one common question is, what is my line IATA? How many line IATAs I do have? And you do have that answer at your tip, on this report. Another report, it's just about the password management tool that we talked originally. And the password management tool report will show you how many of your agents have answered the private questions. So have the autonomy to reset their own passcode. And this is great to make sure that you encourage the ones that didn't answer the questions to do it. And the other report, the last one that we have today, it's a contact case report. Contact case report will show you all the contacts, case numbers, the contact to Sabre Help Desk, right? Who contact the Sabre Help Desk? What will be the source? Either a call, a chat, an email. What will be the subject? And a little description and the time. Now I will show you how it look like. Something to take in consideration. You can just pull the reports. On this particular case, we took it on Excel, right? But you can do it online or you can do it in a PDF, whatever works best for you. Over here is an example of the EPR activity. You will see an SC code, pseudo city code, the agency name, agent ID, if it's active or not. In this case, it's active, and the last sign-in time. For you guys that work on the agency, you know that this is important sometimes, especially because as we said on the best practices, that if it's an agent that is active but is not being at the office during the last couple of weeks, it could be good just to inactivate that EPR, for instance, or if you have somebody that is been working but the last sign in it's been like 3 days ago. I don't know, something is happening. So I think that is very useful information for you. The other report is Sabre configuration. Sabre configurations, once again, it will show you SC code, pseudo city code, and then the line IATA. In this case, is CRT, the type of equipment. PRT, we do not have any PRT on this example, but PRT is a printer. And then the last activity. So you might find over here in one of these reports that you have a line IATA that you never use, for instance, right? Or two agents using the same line IATA. So another good tip, I think. Then on this one, password management tool report. This is an agency that no one has answered the security questions, right? So as I said, a good opportunity to tell Virginia, Adele, and Leandro that they have to answer their questions. And then contact case report. You will see case number, the SC code, pseudo city code, the contact name, and then the origin of here, it will be the source, right? And then if it's a problem, a little subject with the indication of the incident, and then the time and date. Now we're going to show you Sabre Central, our own site on agency security, and how to report incident to us directly. You're going to go to Sabre Central, then on Home, you will click on Support, and right there on Support, you will have an item that says Agency Security, right? click on that agency security, it will take you right away to our on site. Once you click over there, you have few options, right? Capabilities, responsibilities, recommendations, the create agent form. Over here, remember that we were talking about best practices at the beginning. We gave you like a few of them. Over here, you have a lot of things to read through. And we encourage you guys to make sure that all your agents read through this, because it will give you great tips on how to work safely. So apart from our recommendations and the responsibilities on the agency, at the agency level, we do have another link that is create agent request form. Over there is where you can request a create agent. Remember that the create keyword, it's a keyword that allows you to create another APRs or users, right? Only Sabre Help Desk can provide that capability. So if you have a brand new EPR, a brand new agent that it needs to have this capability, you might want to request the create keyword over here. And then the last one, and the most important, is unauthorized activity. If you have any suspicious activity, guys, you can click over there and that will pull up a form, and that will trigger an email directly to us. We will answer those requests on 24 hours. We will open up an investigation immediately. This is the form that you will have to fill in order just to send us those requests. Mandatory fields, pseudo city code, you have a contact name, agency phone number. Please make sure that the phone number is valid in case that we need to give you a call immediately. Email address as well, of course. Make sure that it's a good one. We will return to you to that email address. And then the topic and any information that it might be relevant, right? You do have with an asterisk over there what is mandatory, and you can always enclose, attach a document. Whatever you need to attach, any report, any documentation, maybe a potential phishing email, right? If you identified or you have a suspicious email, make sure that you send us the original phishing email attached on this form, because that will help us to investigate right away and take actions. All Sabre agencies or Sabre agents have access to the form, so anyone can report a suspicious activity to us directly. Add as many details as you can, because that will help us to investigate immediately. Is just preventing any back and forth. Whatever is relevant. Let's suppose that you have I don't know, a ticket that is being issued for an unknown agent, or for your own EPR, and you haven't done that. Well, send us a ticket number, reservation, when you identify the issue, when was the last time that you use your EPR and you action your EPR properly. Whatever you consider that is relevant, anything that is being done by the agency. Look, I void that ticket. I was able to pay the ticket. I was not able to pay the ticket, because if we receive that with that amount of information, it will be easier for us to continue from there and, just not get back to you to ask you questions. Our team will investigate that, as I mentioned, and get back to you directly immediately. And I think that's all that I have for you today, guys. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ade. I think that you went through all very important topics that we should bear in mind always, because, well, threat is everywhere nowadays. Ade, I have collected some of the questions, and
Good.
let's talk about each of the topics, right? If any other questions arises, I will ask them as well. But first of all, it's about passcode management tool. Is there a way to add ourselves the questions instead of using the system's one?
No, no, we had that question several times before because the preset questions are questions that we consider that only you should know. But there is no way that you can set up your own. You have to choose from the ones that are pre-established by Sabre.
Perfect. And is it mandatory to configure the passcode management tool?
It's not mandatory, so the system will let you download Sabre without it. We strongly recommend that everyone have that answer.
Yeah, actually, I believe, Ade, that this is a great opportunity to, well, to reinforce the importance of being, let's say, independent of any other agent in the agency. If you, any of us, some in any kind of application or system, forgot our passcode, and it is always good to be able to reset ourselves instead of waiting for somebody else to help us, or even contacting the help desk to you can solve the problem faster and start working immediately. So it's, as I said, we strongly recommend that.
Totally right, Leanne. Now that especially, during COVID, we've been working from home, most of us. It's
Mhm,
not easy just to go to your colleague desk and say, well, can you reset my passcode or contact the create agent? It might be a problem not be able to work during a few hours,
mhm,
and this is the best way to do it. Yeah.
definitely. Well, in regards of you just answered the question, how can we contact the security team? You already showed the form, and we are gonna share this PowerPoint presentation with all of you, so you can find the well, the steps to follow. In regards of ticket safe, can you please remind us how does ticket safe works? We have a couple of questions in regards of this, and maybe we can refresh the concept.
Sure. Um, Maybe we can go to the same slide so I can show you the entries.
Mhm.
Wow, we have seen a lot. Let me see. Okay, over here. All right. Um, Ticket safe can be activated only doing two entries: turn it on and turn it off. Right? When an agent that have to be sub manager, have to have the keyword sub manager or and duty code number 9, have to perform the entry w/ticketing cross on. Doing that entry, then the pseudo CD code will not be able to perform any W cross entry, will not be able to issue tickets. Once the office is open again, or it decided to issue tickets once again, then the entry will be w/ticketing cross off, and that will allow the agency to issue tickets as usual. It makes sense?
Uh, it makes to me, but let me know in the chat if you need more clarification. But it's good to know that then once it is active, if it is on, the restriction is active, so they cannot issue. If it is off, the restriction is inactive, so they can start issuing normally.
Perfect. Yeah, that's right.
Good. And in regards of IP blocking, how can I request access to the IP blocking tool? Is it always available?
It is always available. It have to be the auditing agent. Usually is the admin, right?
Okay.
The one that I can request products on Central Marketplace.
Perfect. So if you are not the admin tool, you will need to get in touch with the account executive in order
Right.
to be able to get that configuration done. Let's
Yep.
say that you don't have any admin in the agency, because if you have any other admin, that admin can make other admins, right, Adela? Do you know that? Perfect. So if you don't have any admin in the agency, just contact your account executive and they can grant you the access. Uh, this question is in regards of what you explained at the end. Should we report phishing emails to Sabre? What I believe is that you just mentioned that if they receive any fraudulent email related to Sabre or naming Sabre somehow, they can report it to you, right?
Yes, please. Yes, please do, because that helps us to help other customers, right? Um, Even if you haven't clicked on that email, for us, information it's important, because we know what it's out there. There is no other way that we will know if it's somebody pretending to be Sabre out there and trying to grab credentials from Sabre. So it always helps to report a phishing email, even if they haven't clicked on that. Yes, please do. Thank you.
Perfect. That's good information. So if you find any phishing email related to Sabre or naming Sabre or your account executive, it has happened a few times that they were like naming their account executive or just report it to us, and our team will work with them. And the last question is related to reports. How can I request access to the reports? I believe it would be the same with the admin user,
Um,
right?
Leanne, you can be admin and not have reports and otherwise. Well, I
Okay.
think that admin can give the reports, but you can have agents who are not admin, but they can pull reports. Still, if they do not have access with the account executive, right, or the admin. But
Okay.
I just want to clarify that because not because they're if they want to pull reports, they don't need to be admin. They can have that capability active for reports exclusively.
Perfect. Good to know that. But in order to activate those capabilities, they will need to go to their admin, right?
Yep, correct.
Perfect, perfect. Understood. Well, actually, those are the questions that I collected over the chat. I do not see any other new. Please, if you have any further questions, let us know. Uh, Before we end, Ade, I would like to send to our customers our customer satisfaction survey for this event. Please, we encourage you to complete this because you are not only well evaluating this event in particular, but you can also give your opinion in regards of which other product or which other webinar you would like to see or to participate in the future. This information is very important for us in order to keep an agenda up to date and with according to your needs. Ade, no further questions so far, and we are about the end of the hour. So nothing else that thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you, Virginia. I can see you there on the camera as well. Virginia is also one of the representatives from the security team, so she's working with Adela directly. So thank you both. I really appreciate your time to, well, show us the importance of the security in the agency.
Thank you, Leanne, for the opportunity. Have a good day, everyone.
No, you're very welcome.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too and for our customers. And well, thanks to all our customers for the participation and the active participation with many questions today. We hope the information shared has been useful. And let us remind you that within the next 24 hours, you will get the supporting material via email, including the PowerPoint presentation and the recording of the session. So you can revisit it or share it with your colleagues. Well, that's all for now. Thank you very much. And we will meet in a future event.
Thank you, Leanne. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.